The brethren. Rant time, bitches. And I'm talking insurance. Ugh. The pain that is insurance. The sole thing that's stopping me from upgrading anything bigger than a 500. And it absolutely feels like it's the scam of the biking world, or basically any world, our insurance. Hidden charges, admin fees, excessively high quotes and renewals. They all piss me off. And like I said, it's the sole thing that stops you from getting those bigger bikes that you want. And I mean, I know they're designed to be higher so that inexperienced and, you know, people prone to crashing will be deterred through the prices. But God, they wind me up. God, it winds me up. So I'm just going to give you an example of how bullshit insurance prices are, okay? So midway through owning this 125, I moved house. The yearly premium at the other house was £515. The annual premium at the new house, granted different postcode, went from a Huddersfield postcode to a Bradford postcode, fair enough, but £1,500 for that annual premium. And I'm like, right, okay. So that obviously meant I had to bite the bullet when I moved, and because I paid it outright, I had to find 500 quid. I just had to pull 500 quid out of my arsehole just to change my insurance, plus an £80 admin fee, just to change my insurance to the new address. And not only that, brethren, not only that, is they didn't have specifics of where the bike was going to be kept, so it was either in a locked garage or on the driveway. Well, you know what? It's neither. It's fully gated and fenced, double locked in what is essentially a back garden that becomes almost a locked compound. But they don't recognise any of that, so they put it as on the driveway, so the charges premiums are way higher. And I'm like, oh, right, okay, yeah, that's sound. So I was like, right, obviously it's all them factors that are causing it to be that expensive, right? Wrong! Wrong, bitch! Wrong! And I was a fool to think so too, because I just wanted to test to see if it was a complete bullshit statement that it's the change of address and it's the fact you don't have a garage. So I put in the old address just to see what the new premium was for the old address at the same time, after I'd moved, of course, and did it without a garage on the driveway, and it came up at £1,500 as well. So the quote that was previously £500 for the year was then midway through the year suddenly £1,500. And they said that they had to charge me all that much extra because the new postcode was more expensive. And it's like, yeah, but if I went and got a new quote right now, it's not more expensive, it's the exact same price. Honestly, oh God, it gets to me so much. I just put out a recent post, if you voted on it or commented on it, thank you very much, on the community about what bike I'm going to get next. And I let people vote and comment what they thought. And I got a lot of comments mentioning about SV650s, Ninja 650s, and honestly, my first bike that I was going to be going for was a Ninja 650. But the insurance is just out of this world. It's like £2,000-ish. I think the best quote I got was £1,800. And I've tried this on numerous different middleweight, naked, sports bike over the 600cc mark. And honestly, I even tried the SV650. And they're coming up at like £1,800. And I'm like, what? Where's that coming from? Where's that number coming from? Especially when one of the subscribers I know lives quite locally, and he said that he got his SV650 as his first big bike and it cost him £400 for the year. I'm like, am I doing something wrong? Is it cheaper to ring them and not price comparison site them? Is that what I'm doing wrong? Could that be what I'm doing wrong? It feels like it's just this random pool of, yeah, it might be cheap, it might not, because I even tested it out by putting like a data tool on, and obviously your data tool is your bike tracker and they've got an 80% success rate in returning the bike after being stolen. 80%. So it's like, even if the bike gets stolen on the driveway, 80% that it's going to be coming back. And with the data tool on there as an additional security device, it brought my premium up. How does it bring your premium up? It's such bullshit, honestly. You can probably tell I'm quite passionate about this, because there's been a few things this year with the company I've been with. Other people might have had great experiences with these, but I've been with Motorcycle Direct, and honestly I've found that no matter what happens, it's a case of you've got to fork out extra money regardless of what's going on. And even to the point when I told them how much it would be to change address, I hadn't confirmed that I was changing address. They said, right, well, now that you've told us you want to change address, you've got 14 days to change the address, otherwise we're going to cancel your policy. And I was like, excuse me, I don't necessarily need to change the address there. But they like essentially held me for ransom, and it was like 500 quid upfront payment that I had to find. And I'm like, but I've not confirmed whether I am changing the address yet. Go, go, go. So I had to fork out the 500 quid. I was changing the address. Granted, that's not the point. So I wasn't held for ransom. I needed to pay it. But the fact that they were just like, right, now that you've mentioned that you might be changing address, now we know that now that we know you've moved out, so we know that it's going to be there illegally even if you don't change your address. But I'm like, but it might not be. I might find other means of storing the bike with that price being so high. Not everyone's got 500 quid that can just, you know, morph out of the bumhole and throw at insurance companies. Fortunately, we did at the time, but it's only because we'd lost the house previously and we'd got a bond repayment back to us. But the insurance blooming took nearly most of that. Nearly most of that? Is that the right term? Most of that? Just most of that? You don't need the nearly. God, illiterate fuck. So yeah, I found that insurance is the absolute bane of the life. And I mean, I understand with it being motorbikes as well, you need to be better with that. And everyone I've spoke to saying, when you step up to a bigger bike, you're just going to have to bite the bullet for that first year. And I'm like, yeah, I probably am going to just have to bite the bullet. But it's a pain in the ass, because it's the same. I know personal situations, that's not an insurer's problem. But I'm in the process of buying a house while also bringing a newborn into said world. It's not it's not ideal. I found a few bikes. The insurance isn't too bad. It's not quite 650s, but I've got the rest of my life to be buying bikes. So there'll be 650s, there'll be 900s, there'll probably be thousands down the line. There'll be dirt bikes, so I'm very much, I've gone to a patient place. And I know people do say, oh, but you'll get sick of that bike. Or not you'll get sick of that, you'll grow out of it. To be honest, I've been on a 125 for the last year. And I know a lot of people said that before then, obviously not on the YouTube because I didn't have it when I first got this bike. But a lot of people, when I was buying the bike, they were saying, oh, just do your mod 1 and 2, you'll grow out of a 125 so quick and you'll want something bigger. And I'm like, I've found it alright. Yeah, I've wanted a little bit more power, but I wouldn't have said I've really grown out of it. I love this little thing. But yeah, the reason I'm prompted to mention this is just because I've been looking at quotes that just decide to fluctuate whenever the fuck they want. And I'm not talking by like little fluctuation, I'm talking like day to day. It's going from like 1500 to 1900, then back to 1400, and I'm like, I'm putting the exact same info in. They're like, yes, but there's been more crime on this one exact day. I'm going for it. Meow. And it's absolute pain at the minute, is insurance. So I don't know whether insurance premiums are just higher or what, but I must admit, maybe I was being naive, but I thought it had been cheaper than what it has been showing up at. Considering I'm, what, 25 now? I mean, I know it'll get a lot cheaper, you know, when you hit like 30 and things like that. But I'm like, I'd be expecting to pay £2,000 if you were like 20 and trying to get one, but alas, I was fucking wrong. You should swear less, Adam. Swear less, PudMoto. No! I'm angry! It's just got to be a rant video. I mean, it's a Friday morning, I should be happy. The weekend's almost here. And it's dry. It's been a lovely little ride to work. But I'm just no. The bad old days. But insurance just is, it makes me cry. It makes me cry. And how does this work? Putting my dad, who's got like a billion years experience on motorbikes, on the insurance, brings it up. I'm like, what? How does this happen? I don't know whether because I'm using it for commuting as well, does that drive the price up because I'm going to be using that more? Maybe. I don't know. I don't really get the whole insurance world, to be honest, but from a customer point of view, it doesn't seem to favour the rider all that much. Now, if you're in an accident, it's probably great because it's there to cover you, but then I also do know of stories when you are in an accident or your bike is stolen, they'll do absolutely everything in the power to try and not pay out because they'll try and debunk what's happened, or and I mean, if you've had a better experience than that, let me know in the comments. If you also hate insurance companies, be sure to subscribe. Look, I know there's probably good insurance companies out there. Maybe I've just had a really bad experience with this particular one. I've heard things like PudMoto are pretty good, Bike Show pretty good, MCN. I don't know about MCN actually. I've not heard. To be honest, I don't know much about individual ones, but on a whole, some of the things are just a bit of a pain in the balls. And I mean, if there's an insurance company that is genuinely wanting to help the bikers, then absolutely fair play. But I'm just yet to find one, and I don't know, would you ever find one? Am I being naive? I don't really know. But I'm wound up, I'll tell you that much. You just feel like you're getting robbed constantly. Whoa, see that bird try to dive bomb me. I'll bite the bullet anyway because I want a bigger bike, and then hopefully once I've got like a couple of years no claims, I won't have to bite too many bullets because the damage has already been done to my wallet and pride. I don't know, I'm talking shit now. But what do you think of insurance? Are you as annoyed as me? Probably not. It's just painful, isn't it? I think it's just that parting with your money for something that's like so up in the air. But I suppose that's what insurance is, isn't it? It's a what if type situation. What if it gets stolen? Higher crime rates in your area, so it will get stolen. Like, no, and you don't know how much we Fort Knox our thing now. Anyway, insurance is buttholes. So see you in a bit. Subscribe, Puds.